grief, Hep. Nighthaven Labs then, second lab of this series between Project Zero and Myth. Of course, both these teams back against the wall. It is the lower bracket. This is their last life. Whoever loses here is obviously going to be eliminated from the tournament, and that would be very sad. Two very promising teams. There can only be one winner. Nighthaven, it tends to be a little bit defender-sided, depending on those bans. No shields removed from the hands of the attack, but instead it's going to be a double hard breach ban, Hap.
Yeah, understandably so. I mean, you know, there's a lot reliant on these exterior walls, especially for that top floor. And you're starting to think of the basement as well, where of course you have the hatches that are quite crucial, but also the outside walls. So that's going to force them to go for Maverick to get these opened up. And, well, let's say that the quality of Maverick has been somewhat poor in Europe the last couple of weeks. So maybe Akari has practiced more and is going to be shining as a star right now after all the filled fast maps we've seen. Could be a good way to get yourself noticed by some teams. Fastest map in the West.
I love that you went there. I love that you went there with the EU kind of Mav call out.
And even I can do it, and they should too, you know?
Has left a lot to be desired. Has indeed left a lot to be desired. But again, I think it's just a case of like, because of the amount of hard breach that people can bring, you know, a lot of the time, it's not really been needed as much previously. Maybe there's not too much experience or need to have that kind of skill set under your belt. Nah, I'm throwing excuses for the players to use, and I shouldn't really be doing that. They should be on it, really. Already, Myth getting stuck in on this IT wall. Quick, eager, hungry, dodging, diving around these keepers. He's looking at having a nice little turtle here on this warehouse rafters position. Allows you to be aggressive around the doorway. Allows you to contest that IT breach very, very solidly.
Hard breaching.
Baiting the bandit. Bandit isn't there though. As such, the wall will be opened up. Project Zero keeping themselves at bay, not going to be overstaying their welcome. Even though they are guests in their own home right now. And Myth are trying to take it from them. Pipe blowing up will stop Akari from moving in just temporarily. There's no real pressure from below, although there is one person that is out there. I'm not sure if Eli's fully aware. Good drone, great position. Will be spotted though. Skeptic taking that out. It's gonna make sure that the information for the late round execute is denied from the hands of Myth. And with a minute left and the track coming through onto Bandit. They know where Skeptic is. The Nitro flies over, won't quite find the response that they want. And a lot of utility being utilized here, but somehow not really the... That's painful. Two of your bees being caught up. And now I need to open up this wall. We'll do so with a heart breach gadget. Will be vaultable as well. The grenade bouncing back, or not at least fully how they wanted it. But the execute needs to come through. And there's two players down below on the side of Myth as Uper will find Eli first. The entry is there for Project Zero. The opening will be made by Heart Breach Gadget, but that's not going to be the biggest of openings as Uper finds one with the Nitro Cell. Believe that was down from below, and that means Stridley now needs to rotate back up, but Flexy's there to catch him. And as he sees another one move through a little bit of the verticality, he's starting to start the fight and finds the headshot too. The diffuser dropped down cold. Akari, the last man standing on Myth. The Maverick, as he is 1 second alive and not gonna take the fight. It is the first round for Project Zero.
Such a reactive round from Project Zero. Incredible stuff. Again, yes, you've got players downstairs kind of playing that denial because you've got the pulse there, you've got that cardiac sensor. It's not just about, you know, spray and praise through the floorboards. It's not just about C4s. It's about the info you're feeding to the rest of your team. In those moments, you get the follow-up for that second kill with the C4. A Myth, they'd sent someone down to deal with it. then Project Zero fought back with a trade of their own. Again, back and forth, just really being so reactive to every single bit of info, every single push that Myth were trying to do there. Great work from Project Zero, and that's a great start to this map.
All right. Great start. Project Zero just want to keep this up. If they manage to get these attacking or defensive rounds time and time again, back to back, and just fencing off the attacks from Myth, of course, Myth will get more and more desperate in their ways to try and stay alive in this tournament. Considering the fact that they were mapped down, they're in the lower bracket. It is literally now or nothing.
Loading full magazine. Reinforcing long. I'm reloading. Hard breaching.
Loads of Project Zero to work around yet again. Loads of cover as well. Castle barricades and the mirror windows. Youpo on the Spec IO as well. Youpo already getting a little bit flashy with it in that first round. Again, today I'm very happy to see that Youpo's getting that energy back. Really can be a very fun and enjoyable player to watch. Some of the plays that he makes. I think that's the main thing really with South Breach this season. I just want to see people hit their potential. And yes, we are in that alligator swamp. Yes, we are in the trenches of that lower bracket. There's so much that can be done by teams still, especially when we have had on the performances. Everyone needs to get on the A game. Beautiful work here, Eli. Patient, patient, patient. Deals with Flexi. Quick's going to fall to the hands of Zachariah. No clap back coming out from Project Zero. Maybe that's where you have to pull back a little bit. Batter down the hatches, so to speak. You need to be mindful, especially now Youpo's gone. A lot of pressure can start to come through from Myth. They've given themselves so much breathing room. Half the round gone and you're in a 5 versus 2. Surely they don't let this throw away from themselves.
Starting to turn off the phone whilst the push is coming through. Not the best of ideas, but... Skeptic and Groovy. Last two standing. All they need is a bunch of 1v1s and things can suddenly turn the tide. Another phone call coming through, that's the first. Skeptic putting one on the board. Airchip's heard opening up the mirror window, so he at least has an angle that he can fight through. Spots one in the big window. Starting to fall back, rotate up, but the mirror window he just opened up is proving to be the issue. Groovy, as he rotates up, the other jumps down. Has a verticality to play with here, but won't succeed. Dynamite picks it up. Great round for Myth. Early 2 openers, then the phone call, resulting in the third. Before finally deciding to pay attention towards the site and locking things off.
And again, it's even from the get-go, right? You're like, okay, patient. I've got a bit of info. I can hear rustling. I know he's going to be there. I just have to wait till I'm in the position to start going for that pre-fire and get around that tight corner. You know, yes, Project Zero getting a little bit ratty with it, but Myth are kind of being patient at approaching those kind of rat spots, those rat angles. And again, Project Zero kind of putting themselves in these relatively isolated positions. It means those trades can't come through as effectively. Heading to that middle floor now. Again, that gives you so many options sometimes when you're in the middle. On both sides. I think for Myth, it's like, okay, well, we can do a little bit of a sandwich approach here if we want to. Remember when this map first came out, it was a nice way that people were trying to approach taking this middle floor. Pressure above, pressure below. Trickle in Busty. Ooh, we saw a little bit of an inkling of maybe a Nook coming out, but no, Eli isn't going to go with it just yet. We'll see where he ends up with, but you've got the cardiac sensor now. You've got the Spec IO as a wombo combo. There's loads of information for Project Zero to be able to gain here. And again, we know that when they have information, they're very, very reactive to it. So let's see what they can cook up. Eli hasn't gone back onto the Nook. He's staying on that Dokkaebi. They're not going with that backstab approach just yet. Bit disappointed. Would have liked that Nook to have come up from the basement while the rest of them work that floor at the top.
Drone activated.
Droning, just going through, again, wanting to get all the information they can possibly get. Zakari opening up. Wall's been softened. Super effective he has been. Sub 30-second openings. Love to see it. Comes Dynamite with the bailiff. Just making sure that the soft part falls out as well.
Reloading! Cover me!
Honestly, a bit of renovation work, you can say. Is that how you would put it on your resume, by the way? You're like a professional Siege player. Applying for a job later, it's like professional renovator. Like the soft
Interior
structure.
design.
Interior design. With experience in strategic planning. Half the round has just passed by and, well, no real gunfights happening just yet. It's just the drones that have been casualties. As Myth is looking to isolate one player or two. Gruby, what a shot. His first for the round or for the match even. Will be traded back out by Tridley. The air jets now coming into place, but Flexi will find another for his efforts. And another swing to come through, and honestly, Project Zero have just been swinging at everything. They moved the nitrocell, blow it up, no! Uber, you should have pressed that detonator.
I'm reloading.
Now he's injured. Can get him, there's a feat. Didn't actually quite connect him. In the 2v3 situation now with Eli, taking a little bit of a tag, but nothing too much, nothing too serious. The Flexi being up above has the opportunity to use that sensor, the scanner, to find out where the plant is happening, but they seem to be oblivious to it. And the plant's gone through and they've managed to exfil from the site. And now a 3-on-2, 3-on-1 retake as Urkari is fighting Skeptic, but he does have a shotgun. Makes himself going down into the DBNO. The shake is there. He's not watching the teabag. Flexi's making sure he will have to watch the teabag, while also defuse is coming in from quick. He was looking away towards the walls like, no, I'm not watching this.
Flexi's like, look at me.
Look at me. I won. I have the right to do this.
I respect it. I truly do.
Yeah, but you do it when the round is won, not when the round is still playing, you know? Like,
Yeah, to
like
be
we
fair,
saw earlier
credit
today.
where credit's due. You know, Project Zero, they were shutting down Myth, and then Myth was still able to get in and not be contested enough to the point they're able to at least get the plant down, right? So again, close. No cigar, unfortunately, but they are focusing heavily towards that objective. And again, ideally that middle floor. There is two ways to go about it. You do the sandwich, or you do just go for it, send it through the window. Especially at T2, it's usually the window sending that we see eventually. So you have to be prepared for it. And again, the Spec IO a little bit late to the game there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Now you see me? Now you
But the round is still there, and, you know, considering the fact that round differentials don't matter anymore, it is not a matter of how you get there as long as you get there. Like, how you get there is going to be a question for your post-game vault reviews. You start working on things and start cleaning up your game and all that stuff. But for now, you just want to get the rounds on the board. For now, you just want to get the maps on the board. If you win 8-7, 8-7, so be it.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
It's no different than a 7-1, 7-1 here.
Protocol saves lives. Remember that. We are all set. Banshee deployed. Swapping back.
See how Myth do this. Eli once again going in from below. Be quite nice as well, because again, if you've got the IQ scanner and you're below, you can potentially shoot out a lot of util from beneath, especially when you think about those mute jammers. No extension from Project Zero below either, so Eli should be able to do this uncontested. And again, create a lot of breathing space for Myth in that regard. Allowing you to open walls a bit more effectively, and also allowing you to get those drones in With drones comes information, and with information comes swings. Newport attacked him just a little bit. Eli found his way into storage already. He's looking through those floorboards. He's trying to find where Project Zero are lurking. Kari dealing with Quick.
You won't hear a thing.
No trade. And yes, you've lost Viella, but those Griswots will still be out and about, and that's the important factor. Still got the kit to play around, unless Eli has dealt with it already.
Uber quite low. Down to about 1 HP, still a Nitro in pocket. He's holding on to jungle. Waiting for the move to be made, but Gruby's also still out there. He's hidden on the couch, having a little nap. I don't think they're aware of his position, and as a rotation could be coming in towards the side of jungle, because they're definitely starting to make some moves. This could be detrimental, because there's a player inside of Connector right now. That could be a bit of bait. To just show up and do a little bit of damage, let them know, hey, I'm here. And that allows Gruby to just strike for free. 4D baiting going on right here as the drone rolls through. Eli aware of the fact that one is around on the blue side of the thing. Opening into the wall. And a mezzanine will be made. To see if they can isolate a player in the actual side, and the shots are coming through. They are now aware in the defense as well. Uber having to sit very still. If he moves too much, he will be taken out. Skeptic will find her carry. Brings it back. That's the Maverick God. There it is. Gruby from the couch will find a head. I'm not even sure how he saw that. As Uber will strike as well, and suddenly everything falls apart from Myth. It is Dynamite to fall last. But it is a Project Zero round on the cards and in the books.
Very impressed so far with what Project Zero have actually brought to this map. Remember, this is the first time that they're actually showing it. We haven't really seen them bring Nighthaven out yet. For the side of Myth, it is one of their better maps. It's something that they've consistently shown and consistently won as well. You know, 7 wins, 2 losses.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
See why Myth picked it when you look at those statistics, but what's even funnier is the fact that, again, Project Zero is their most banned map. It's their insta-ban. 9 times out of 10, and they're doing a really good job of these defenses.
All secured.
Especially given the fact that Myth, you know, they had a lot of options there. Especially in terms of how they could have used some certain parts of utility.
Securing the wall!
Feels like maybe they were trying to rely too much on getting the entry instead of thinking, okay, well, maybe we try and dislodge some of this util that they're going to hide behind. That might make the job easier for us. Basement, though. Basement attack with double shield coming out from Myth. Ooh, this should be a spicy one. And again, realistically, you've got that Maverick, so yeah, you can try and make a few little holes in that main wall. But be careful with things like that, just in case the C4 comes out. At least if you can open up some little sight lines, you can apply pressure. Yes, maybe it can be phantom pressure, but when you've got... Oh, never mind. Eli's going to go.
No.
Zachariah's gone too. Tridley's gone. It's fallen apart for the side of Myth. Akari just stood there with his blowtorch like, why did everyone die? Why has everyone gone down? What am I to do now? Dynamite. Can he do anything? No, he can't. Quick around the corner. Shutting him down. Poor Akari. Not much he can do in that situation. A very swift cleanup there from Project Zero.
That's a tilter from Myth. They had 2 men on the guy in the kitchen and just fell apart. Skeptic putting some extra salt in the wound right there by calling it a W attack. Project Zero, with those 4 rounds, will have completed their goal. Now looking to go to 5. Pressure's not really hitting them yet. They're 1 map ahead. Their attacks have looked pretty solid on the previous map. He's even playing it on the person now.
Shields deployed.
Good grief.
F it, we ball kind of call.
Yeah. Last round though.
Time to redecorate.
I mean, I think this is the thing, right? You gotta try and at least have a 4-2 half. The myth right now is to have a little bit of a lifeline. Because this has been pretty nasty on the side of Project Zero. And again, Project Zero, they've ironed out a lot of those issues they were having on their attacks. Yes, it's Nighthaven. Yes, it's very, defender-sided. But I have no doubt they'll bring the thunder and the furiosity on their own attacks themselves. So you need to have a little bit of secret sauce, something cooking. Eli, of course, on the Nook. Love to see that. Gives you many, many options. We're actually getting to see what I affectionately call the sandwich approach potentially coming out. Get a bit of that top floor control going. Maybe send Eli in from below. Let's see how it goes, Hap.
Let's see how it goes, indeed. As Myth trying to open up. Trying to put up the pressure. Needing to get themselves that second round. And also, yeah, it's defender-sided. I don't think it's like super defender-sided. We'd be aiming at like a 55%. Which is 2 to 3 rounds for the attack every single time. Eli trying to come in from the rear. Attacking blue. Quick. So far, unaware. Flexi down the staircase. Unaware. This could be 1 or 2 kills coming in for Eli. If he is quick enough. If he's sharp enough. As Flexi just checked him. No one there. Cannot activate the sensor due to the mute gemmer, or the mute gemmer out there. With a minute 20 left on the clock, a push will have to come soon. The opening of the castle barricade will be there. The FNAC gives away the game, so Eli, forced to fall back, cannot actually go and sneak in for his free kill. And that kind of ruins the game. There comes the entry. Uber finds one. Groovy finds another. Tritley will strike back, and we're in a 4-on-3 situation now. Make that 2. And Myth, it seems to be all falling apart here. As we're eyeing up to go towards the second half in a 5-2 split. Unless Dynamite and Eli have something to say for it now. They will manage to get there first, but still need to find 3 more, Grace. And with those 40 seconds, and the time slowly ticking, it is Eli on very low HP to try and make things happen.
Yeah, and again, it's limited his options, and he's barely got any health. Miracle would allow him to win it here. There we go. No, Groovy gets it. It's kind of unfortunate for the side of Project Zero that they haven't actually shown this map so far, because it has been a really, really lovely map for them so far. Again, both in terms of the way that they want to set up with things, both, in terms of the way they're actually playing around it. Again, the initiative, the way that they're being so reactive from the get-go. A 5-1 half is nothing to be scoffed off at all. Yes, granted, you're on a very defender-sided map. But Project Zero, they ironed out those issues they were having on attacks in Rumble. They've come into South Breach with a different energy. The Myth have to be really clever about these attacker bans now. The Monty makes sense. Maybe a follow-up shield, to be honest, as well. Maybe the Blackbeard. Over Ying. Interesting. Again, removing utility can really be a benefit to the attack when they're trying to force their way around those horrible little pockets, those horrible little corners of pressure. Even on that top floor, for example, think about it. Electrical connector. You need all the utility you can get to try and force your way into server from that side. Again, yes, having shield utility can be a big aid there.
Attackers need to locate and
You need to consider the alternative push coming from usually warehouse. Very curious to see what Project Zero do. They have been enabled with this Blackbeard, so Groovy is going to pick onto it, and I love to see that. Again, I think that's going to be a really lovely little performance that can be cooked there by that player individually. You need that utility from everyone else. And again, double hard breach coming out. Skeptic, Upor, bringing out the ace and the thermite. The ace gives you a little bit more flexibility because of how you can kind of throw it from a distance. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a danger aspect when you're trying to use that thermite. So you want to use the thermite on the externals, ideally. You have brought out the mirror, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a mirror window on that IT wall. Just to make things a little bit clunky if you are trying to open up the IT breach. Let me have a little cheeky gander.
No, haven't placed it there.
Ready and waiting.
One A, one B.
Flying out.
Yeah, it does indeed make it a little bit more awkward trying to actually get that breach, especially if you then open it up. Exothermics are no longer really useful, forcing you to go for these Selmas, which are of course easier to impact trick at that point. The quick openings will be the case as Jungle gets opened up first. Lexi's going to stick around to try and put some pressure down. No one to be found. Actually, very nice, neat little angle there. As C4 gets tapped, but if he steps back a little bit, he's actually able to maybe pick up the head, and he sees some shots coming over. I'm not quite sure if the player on the window is actually fully aware of what's happening. And the pings are coming through, so is the Selma. That means the mirror window will be popped soon. The EMP impact will follow as well, so the mute jammer is going to be taken care of. Ultracell comes out. We'll find Flexi, so at least we'll find something for their efforts. But this is a very efficient take so far from the side of Project Zero, bar the fact, of course, that they've lost their one player.
The aspect, yes, you've lost the Capital, but you've still got options here. Contesting against the tight, annoying corners in electrical, and they've also got a shield there. Teamwork makes the dream work. So they're trying to force things through with this Blackbeard. Quick needs to be careful. He's a little bit squishy. Tridley shot to the face of Groovy. Deals with it, but Skeptic, Upor with another one. 2 versus 2.
Oh!
Upor, he's so flashy with it sometimes. Free game for the round, and he's getting that plan going. Dynamite needs to hightail it up there and try to deny it, but he's not going to be able to get there in time. The air jabs are out. And Dynamite needs to be so careful here. He needs to try and isolate these players, find these 1 versus 1s. They're in the same area. Well, Bolshiness on Quick, that's going to get punished. Bit of a misplay there, in my opinion. It's going to give Dynamite a little bit of a lifeline here. He just has to find the head of Upor, and he does! Well played indeed against Project Zero. That is a massive oversight, allowing Dynamite to take those 1v1s. And he secures them and secures the round. My apple pie. That's a little bit embarrassing for Project Zero, but Dynamite doing Dynamite things. Absolute masterclass for last South Breach, and once again, yes, we're in the lower brackets, but Dynamite really has been a star player for that side of Myth.
He definitely has been. Not the greatest effect throughout this map yet. He had a single kill at the start of this round. Gets up to 3 here, but a crucial clutch, because otherwise it would have been map and series points for Project Zero.
Locate and defuse as many bombs as
And
they can.
let's be honest, their attack, it started off well, started off effective. It's just that the fact that Dynamite was below, that caused some issues with the vertical impact coming through, which then was followed up by a shotgun shell and multiple others just coming around the corner. And Dynamite to clutch it out eventually. Again, crucial for the side of Myth Esports, because otherwise they would be eyeing up a potential loss right now already. Interesting setup.
10 seconds to insertion.
There's some tripwires.
5 seconds to insertion.
As we're going towards the basement now, but it's very heavy off the actual site.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Eli's typing. No, he's not. Okay, for a second I thought he was typing there. Just stood still in the middle of the hallway. Oh, what's coming?
About to get the bigger than chat. I mean, again, it was a really good attack initially from Project Zero, but that post plan. Why are we feeding Dynamite in those moments? Project Zero,
I
they
don't know
should
why they
learn
didn't
from
drop
that
the
though.
hatch.
They should learn from that.
Like, he could have put down a breaching charge on the floor, detonate it, drop down the hatch, play it from underneath. He could have also run into jungle through the breach and see if he could play from there rather than from behind the pillar. Right? There were multiple opportunities. But it was probably because they weren't fully aware of where Dynamite was at that moment in time, as Stritley takes a small amount of damage. And he keeps taking the fight. We'll fall back. The grenade comes around the corner. We'll definitely force him off permanently. Let's both pick one up. Skeptic will find Dynamite, and he will find Zachariah as well. And the last couple was a shield. For a second there, I thought he completely missed all shots, but just a shield. As a single person on the side is trying to hold on to whatever is left. With a minute 30 left to go.
Oh. Skeptic removed on this round. Ruby has to get a bit aggro here. It's actually going to be Uport finds that pick onto Akari. Have a lot of time to work with. Patience is a virtue. But these are two hyper-aggressive players on the side of Project Zero. They're not going to faff about. They want to get stuck in. They want to find those heads, want to find those scalps, want to drop those bodies. Eli is going to fall. Juninal left in it. 1 versus 1. Technically, Uport can still feed info here, though. Stridley on the hunt, on the approach. He's had some really nice plays in this series so far.
Oh, the fire.
The pickup's going to actually happen. A 1 versus 2. That's going to make it a lot more difficult, especially with a shield coming at you like that. Uport gets it. Playing with their food, toying with him. Good grief. And that's match point for Project Zero. And more importantly, Hap, that is series point.
Yeah, match and series point in the hands of Project Zero now. And let's be honest, it should have been over. Should have been a 7-1 on the map pick of Myth. But Dynamite decided to go big in that round and bite in that extra little bit of ground. As a rerun from Myth is called, we are back in the basement yet once more.
Need to locate and defuse bombs.
They think they know what they've done wrong and what they need to improve on, or, which is the worst scenario, they don't feel comfortable on any of the other sites. Because at this point, you're gonna have to go for a full rotation and then some to get yourselves out of the depths and into an overtime situation. And top floor should have been won by Project Zero. Basement was just won. 2 middle floor signs we have not seen yet. And I suspect we would only be seeing them if this goes towards round 11.
I'm hungry. Understood.
Myth. This could be a heartbreaking end for them.
New feed active.
Again, especially seeing that the teething issues we were seeing at the start of the season, start of the tournament. Oh, but it's fallen off now, and it's such a shame to see if they go home here and now, but such is the nature of ending up in this lower bracket. One of you's getting eliminated. This tournament's been absolutely stacked in terms of rosters. Any mistakes is really costing a lot of these teams. They at least hold on to it for a little bit longer. That's a great start. Dynamite dealing with quick, but the trade is immediately there from Groovy. Zachariah Trinity, they got something to say about it. Skeptic goes massive. Can he find the follow-up? No, but a C4 doesn't quite hit him. Tags him up a little bit. Two of them have to try and be sensible here. They've been gifted a lot of breathing space. Do you have to be careful about Eli lurking in the distance, though? You do have that blitz shield, and again, it's one of the more aggressive pieces of shield utility.
Reloading ammo.
Allows you to go for something a little bit nastier. They have found him. Skeptic gets it. 2 versus 2 now, Hap.
He impacted himself, got caught off by it, and indeed a 2v2 now with a single nitro still in hand. Where are those Valkyrie cams? Those could be useful to determine what to do. Last mirror window just being popped down now by Akari. Trying to guess and adapt to what's going on. There's a little huddle on the attack was happening just now where they were deciding where to go. Plenty of Goyo canisters around on the drop. That's not what they want to go for. Skeptic coming around to open up the hatch. Give them a little bit of more breathing space. Comes the smoke canisters. Ruby instantly dropping right afterwards. Needs to be careful. Sees one of them dropping through. Will go for the gunfight, but no. Tritley and Akari both will shut them down, and it was a nice attempt on a comeback for that round, but Myth had it under control.
Clinging on for now. How long can they drag this out? Final bans to come out, and again, maybe this is where Myth want to double down and get that double shield going. You're removing that Blackbeard, or at least the Blitz. Taking away one of those aggressive shield ops. Again, Project Zero, they really have a reliance on it at times. There we go, the Blackbeard will indeed be banned. The mirror ban makes sense as well for Project Zero. Again, you just don't want to have to deal with that kind of utility. You're going in blind, they're going in with the vision. You need a new PC, apparently.
Funny though, seeing him play on the PlayStation. He's playing on the sticks. It's always funny when, like, you hear the stories of some pros where they've, like, played on Xbox or PlayStation for such a long time, decide to make the switch to PC, and within 6 weeks they're, like, absolutely godlike. Always makes me a little bit jealous.
This because the game in itself, like, the game doesn't change, right? That you've got the same kind of kit. If you know the game, you know you have that good deep game sense, and you're playing on like a console or something. All you have to do is learn the mechanical side of the mouse and keyboard. In that regard, it's just like, you know, there's loads of methods to do it. Loads of people have so many different spreadsheets that you can use and like fill in the data and really train your aim up over time. It's just for commitment, and I think if anything, you've got to take your hats off when people do it quickly, because it shows that they've actually locked in, they've been grinding it all day every day to really get that, you know, mechanical skill under their belt.
I'm just very bad on controllers. Which is why, like, I've always gamed on PC.
Yeah, same.
So we're waiting to see what's happened with the Myth player. Mysteriously disappeared. We can only guess.
Nope.
Oh, there he is.
Fine,
Just jumped back in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back to
Yeah,
us now. Oh, I
sometimes.
was very close up on the screen. Sorry, I was just in my shrimp era where I was like hunched over.
Staring ominously into everyone's soul.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is an interesting thing to see, to be honest, because again, we've got that 6-3 point. There's still 3 more rounds to try and push to overtime. I don't know if Myth can do it. It really will require them really digging deep right now, Hap.
Again, this is it, right? Like, they need to go through every side and then some. They've just got the basement. Fair play to them. But let's be honest, this site should have also gone towards Project Zero, the first attack we've had. So we need to see a bit of a change of pace here from Myth if they want to be taking this one home. Cannot keep relying on the big clutches to keep on coming through.
see how this goes. A lot of utility aiming at catching them perhaps a little bit off guard here. The Denari, the Ella. He was to play around. Let's looking at wall denial. Again, I think the main thing for Myth is they've got that double shield ban going. So now it means, okay, yes, we're top floor, but you've got less options when it comes to coming around these corners, especially because we've banned out the Ying as well. If you are going to try and push, you know, quite aggressive into connector electrical, you don't have that safety net as much now. Yes, you're bringing out the blitz, but that shield's a lot smaller. There's more options to try and get the right angle and remove that player. So, and again, already, ooh, from Project Zero, clearing a lot of utility of those Retoros from the get-go, taking their time with it. Skeptic on the Nook as well. So they've got options themselves. Again, EMPs combined with those Retoros. They're really looking at dismantling the utility setup from Myth.
EMP will lead in the charge from Groovy. As soon as that pops. Nitro is being prepared though. Honestly, you can catch this Nitro off guard by just double stacking or triple stacking the EMPs. As the first one pops, the RC Rotero is starting to come in. You still have to be careful for the connector part. With the first RC Roteros blowing up, actually the last that is, smokes are starting to pop, and it is just Project Zero looking desperately to find themselves a way in. Tridley behind the shield with a Nitro in hand. Here comes the EMPs. From Flexi, 1, 2, everything is blinded. The Nitro Cell will come outside. We'll find a kill as well as Zakari comes in and takes down Groovy. Trades over the board. But in general, it is Myth that is coming out superior here. It's just Uper now in a 1-4 with a 1 HP on his name and swings on every single area to worry about. The jump over is there, the Deagle as well. Eli will pick up that final kill. And we are going over towards round number 11. And this is where I said, okay, this is where we then would see the tertiary sites to come through. And they avoided them before.
Project Zero. Will they be feeling pressure here now? I'm not sure. Again, it's this idea that if you let that runaway train effect start to happen on the side of Myth, maybe they can start to pull it back again. Remember, this isn't a bad map, typically for Myth. If anything, it's actually one of their best maps, if not their best map full stop. They've really had to dig deep, unfortunately, in this map pool to keep in this tournament. And yes, their back is against the wall, but there is a lifeline in the fact that it is their most preferred map. So if anyone can pull it back, it is Myth right now. The Project Zero, again, think about all the experience in that roster. They should be able to put together a little strat here, and they should be able, if things go wrong, to have that shot call come through. Reassess things. And again, we've seen so much initiative trickle out from them. In this map in particular, so much initiative. They can't let it slip away from them. That might get a little bit embarrassing as time gets on. I think Myth have put themselves in a really good position. Again, just down to the operator bans they've been able to do. Quick though. Making quick work of these breaches.
It is just about finding the right execute now. They just need to find themselves the entry. Not be caught off by these C4s that have plagued them these last couple of rounds. And as I said, Zachariah will find the flashbangs coming through, but so are a bunch of stunts as the plant is being attempted. Is someone down below to stop this? It doesn't seem to be the case. 45 seconds soon going as the Scorpion misses the opportunity. The Plex is out of the building and the trades are coming through. The end is nigh as it's Zakari and Dynamite, the last two standing. Can they try and get this counter defuse going as the feet of the Blitzer attempted to be shut out? Urkari needs to provide some support towards his team, but Quick up above has the opportunity to play this vertically. As he drops in, he gives away that game, starting to play around on that top floor, starting to be a bit of a nuisance with the Blitz on the actual doorway, losing his head. With 11 seconds left. Only need to find a single kill, failing to do so. Urkari drops, and that means Project Zero is the winner and goes through. Myth is eliminated from South Breach.
Oh my goodness, by the slight second. A really admirable attempt there from Myth to try and secure that post plant. Really had the right ideas, it's just in execution, it wasn't quite getting there. Pressure